Good afternoon, everyone. It is me, Nikhil Verma again. We are going to continue where we left off in the previous video. Uh, Today, we are going to start with the second part of second module, which is unorganized retailing and organized retailing. So let us look at unorganized retailing. What do you mean by unorganized retailing? Unorganized retailing refers to the traditional format of the retail industry. What you have been seeing since ages, these small retail shops which are usually located at um, corner of a street, or which you see at every nook and corner, spread across the country. These small vendors who earn their bread and butter through this business come under organized retailing. See, they constitute to more than 80% of the retail sector. If you see the entire retail sector, 80% of them come under unorganized retailing. This sector is mainly characterized by small retailers and are subject to tax evasion and lack of labor law system. Um, you see, usually these shops are owned by or run by the entire family. There is a karta who takes care of these retail outlets on regular basis, but in his absence, there will be someone who will be taking care of it on his behalf. And since they are doing trade in small numbers, there is a huge scope to evade tax. How? They can show their accounting in whatever way they want. Right? They don't have an inventory management system. They can just play around with the numbers however they want. They can show more losses. Uh, they can add up the expenses that belong to their household, or their household expenses, or they can even mix mm, personal expenses into business expenses and show that there is more expense, and since they're making less profits, they will not be able to pay tax. There are various ways in which they can evade taxes. um, so these small vendors usually are subject to tax evasion, and they don't follow labor law extensively. How do you expect a person who might be educated or might not be educated, who's running a small shop, to go through the entire labor law system and to follow all the rules and regulations mentioned in the labor law? You'll not see those things being followed. What are the examples of unorganized retailing? Local kirana shops, pan bidi shops, baniyas, melas, hawkers, peddlers, footpath vendors, etc. Now imagine a pan and bidi shop owner keeping an employee and paying him in accordance with the labor law system. Minimum wage bill आया है, तो imagine a pan and bidi shop owner paying the employee on the basis of the minimum wage bill. Do you expect that to happen to him? No. Definitely, they are not going to follow it. They are not even going to look at majority of the labor laws. They might know a few certain things that are must, uh, that they should follow. They might follow those, but it is evident and it is understood that they are not going to focus more on the labor law and all. So let us look at the features and characteristics of unorganized retailing. I have told this already to you, the first point, which is unorganized retailers are generally family managed retailers. They're small in size, have a limited trading capacity, generally for the need of local people. You might not travel to buy a, a cigarette or a gutka or a supari, or any other uh, small FMCG to say 5-6 kilometers just to buy it. You're going to look at convenience here. These are all majoritarily convenience stores which are available at your convenience. Whatever is closest to you, you are going to go to that store and purchase it. So they have very limited trading capacity, because they know that the people that are going to come to them as customers are going to be localites, people who stay in and around their shop, in and around their locality, I mean. So usually they do business in small sizes. They are located at convenient places within the reach of customers. Definitely. See, you will see a kirana shop or a pan and bidi shop, or these hawkers or peddlers selling in residential localities more. They will set up their business in such a way where people are going to go to them at convenience. So these retail businesses are not registered. You don't expect, okay, fine, if you want to, you can. It's not that you can't. But someone who's selling pan and bidis, I don't think I don't think that the person will be too curious to get their business registered. Same goes with small kirana shops, or these small retailers that you see, selling for a uh, small audience. So these businesses are usually not registered, and they normally do not follow any legal formalities. The next feature that we have is they offer credit facility for the known and permanent customers. I personally have experienced it, and you might, some of you might have experienced it, or some of you might not have experienced it. For people who have experienced it, what we are talking about here. Uh, if you say you don't have change, you carry 500 rupees and you want a toothpaste worth 10 rupees, and you go to this uncle whose shop is right at the corner of your street. You go to him and say, "Bhaiya, ek toothpaste dena, Colgate 10 rupees wala," and you give him 500 rupees. What will be his reaction? चिल्लर नहीं रे, चिल्लर लेके आना. That will be his reaction, and you'll be like, "भैया चिल्लर नहीं है, ठीक है बाद में लाके दे दे." This is one of the example of credit facility. If that person has seen you since childhood, and if he's seen you for a longer duration, and if you keep buying with that person, he's going to give you credit facility. Some people follow monthly patterns. My cousin brother, he follows this system where he has a vendor who supplies groceries to him every month, and he'll be like, मैं पूरा महीने में जो चाहिए वो लेके जाऊंगा, मेरा सैलरी हुए बराबर एक महीने का क्रेडिट पूरा एक साथ चुका दूंगा. This is another method of procuring credit from these retailers. They provide credit facility to those people whom they have been seeing since a long time, who are their permanent customers, and they know that this person is going to pay. There is a trust factor that comes in, and this is one of the features of unorganized retailing. They are very friendly, and since they are of the same neighborhood, they belong to your society only, and helpful in the sense they are going to make you choose the right product. If this person knows you well and you try to buy something, if there is a competitive product, a substitute for what you are trying to buy, that person is going to advise you, saying, why don't you try out this product? It's a bit cheaper compared to this, and then the quality is also good. Since why don't you try it? And then you might try it. They might give you suggestions, and help you make better purchase decisions. And the last feature or characteristics is described as poor people friend by delivering good in very small quantity and offering credit facility. When we say this point, we mean that they sell in very, they sell in very minute quantities, very very minute quantities. I still remember we used to get these good night coils. You guys remember good night coils? They're still available, so obviously so usually what you do these days people buy a box. But 5 years back, 10 years back, when people didn't have so much liquidity as much as they have now, people would go and buy one single coil. One single coil means there'll be two coils in it, right? A pair is usually given in one set of coils that they give. So you could still end up buying that one coil if you wanted. That means they deliver in micro level quantities, very small quantities. You don't get this facility at DMart or Big Bazaar. You can't go to DMart and say that मुझे ये box में से सिर्फ एक coil निकाल के दो. You can't do that, right? But this feature is available with these retailers. You can buy in small quantity, very small quantities. Usually, if you go to these modern retailers, not all the products are offered at micro level quantities. Some of them, yes, but not all of them. If you want to purchase at very small quantities, then these unorganized retailers are the go-to people, and over that they also offer credit facility. So they add a real benefit to the society and act as a friend, and you know help us make good purchase decisions all the time. What are the advantages or benefits of unorganized retailing? Easy to form with lesser capital. Since they deal in small quantities, since we have been discussing about unorganized retailers for a while now, for like 10 minutes at least, you have understood that they deal in small quantities. Since they deal in small quantities, they will need lesser capital to set up, and usually these kind of businesses are set up as an extension to the house itself. Majority of them, not all, but majority of them are set up as an extension to their existing house. So even uh, there the capital is saved. So you can start this business with a lesser capital, and usually it is family managed. So that's an added advantage. um, it's like you can take out time for yourself if you want to, because if you are not available, there will be one of your family members who is going to come and look after the business, and they will act as helping hand, and you save money, um, rather than paying wages to an employee or a daily wager. You can have one of your family member assist you, and since they're family managed, you end up making more profit as you save on a lot of types of different costs. Then residential location, like I told you guys before, usually these type of businesses are set up at residential location, so they are safe and easily approachable. The other advantage that we have is credit facility, already discussed in detail. The next is delivering in small size. This was also discussed that they deliver in very small sizes, and you can make best use of them when you don't have liquid funds disposable at right now with you. And then right in that moment when you want to make that purchase, I mean. The last point is friend and philosopher. This point also is explained to you in somewhat explained in the previous slide. I've told you guys that they will act as your well-wisher, and they are going to guide you make better decisions, better purchase decisions when you go to them and approach them to make a purchase. So they act as friend and philosopher there. So that's it for today, guys. We're going to look at organized retailing in the next video. Okay, thank you.